You don't need more time. You just need to use your cracks of time creatively. Hey, y'all, what's happening? Welcome to Mind Shift Monday, where we shift the way that we think so that we can shift the way that we live. I'm Robert Kennedy III, RK3, that's me, and today we're talking about how to stay inspired when life is full, fast, and frantic. Hey, y'all, what is happening? Edlin, what's going on? ORL 4879, Sigan Miss Stallion, so glad that you're here on Instagram. King P7, so glad that you're here. She said, happy Thanksgiving, Canada Thanksgiving. Yeah, it is Thanksgiving in Canada. Happy Thanksgiving, y'all. If you're here on Facebook, if you're here on LinkedIn, if you are here on YouTube, give me a shout out so I can shout you out. Just let me know that you're in the comments. Give me a what's up. If you're here on Substack, we are on Substack today, y'all. So just so glad to see y'all. DJ Scott 277, so glad that you're here. Kelly, so glad you're here. Jackie, so glad that you are here. Let me see who else is in the spot, who else is in the place. Don Kirk Lewis, Danny Lewis, so glad you're here. Misty Campbell, Dr. Lorenda Jones, Eugene Taylor Brand, oh yeah. Letitia, so glad that you are here. Coach ADTV, you are in the space, in the place. Trying to look at my face. Yes, so glad that y'all are here. Listen, y'all, I'm glad that you're here. If you want to get connected with the conversation, to know when we're live, text live to 240-557-8679. That's live to 240-557-8679. And after the show, join us for the Mind Shift Monday Level Up at 8 a.m. so that we can recap, recount, and recalibrate this conversation. Just like alliterating this morning. Join us, go to mindshiftmonday.com/Zoom and join us for that show. Also, go to mindshiftmonday.com, join our community there. We're going to be getting more active there. Join us for weekly resources, etc. All right. Well, listen, it's time for the show, y'all. Yes. You don't need an empty schedule to create. You just need the courage to start right where you are. Y'all ready? Let's do this thing. Bam. Hey, what? Yes, happy Monday. Happy Monday. I know y'all, I hope you're happy with me vibing, dancing, grooving on this here Monday morning. For some of you in Canada, happy Thanksgiving to you. For those of you that are here in the United States, whatever you celebrate, happy Indigenous Peoples Day. For those of you that are still with the executive order, I won't say anything about that. Yes. So, oh yeah. Here's the thing. How many of you are creative? If you think of yourself as a creative person, type yes in the chat. Type yes in the chat if you think of yourself as a creative person. Here's my question for the creatives in the space. How many times do you feel like, or have you said to yourself, you know what? I need to do that. I just don't have enough time. I need to paint. I need to write my song. I need to write my book. I need to do all of this stuff, but I'll do it when things slow down. Yeah. Jacquees, hey, good to see you on Instagram. She says, yes, I'm a creative. Yeah. How many of you have said to yourself, I'll create when things slow down? But what if the busy season that you're in is the very soil that your creativity needs? How many of us know that sometimes we say we're waiting for things to slow down, but that moment might just be the soil or the push or the persistence that your creativity needs? I've been through that. I've been through moments of busy and overwhelmed. As a matter of fact, I'm just coming through. I'm not fully through yet, but I'm just coming through a pretty busy speaking season. A lot of my speaking is in the real estate industry, and the months of September and October are when a lot of the real estate conferences take place. So I go from one space to the other. I was in Virginia at their conference and then have to fly out to Michigan to another conference, and then just coming back from South Carolina, another conference. I'll be in Boston in a few days. And then so I'm in the midst of a pretty packed season. And I don't share that because I'm like, yay, look at Robert. I'm sharing that because, oh my gosh, it's that moment. Because hey, you come hit me in July and August, I'm not traveling that much. As a matter of fact, there are times in the year where I'm like, okay, yep, we gotta increase this. Right. But in those busy moments, there's some things that happen to a lot of people. All right. Coach AD says, I'd like to think that I finally embraced my creative. Yeah, I need to get some of these comments on screen in just a little bit. But in those busy seasons, a few things can happen. Number one, sometimes you feel overwhelmed, right? How many of you, I mean, just if you are a regular person and you feel overwhelmed in a busy season, just type me in the chat. You can feel overwhelmed. Another thing that people may feel during those busy seasons is you might feel guilty. Like you're busy, but you should be doing more. You should be completing more. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that ironic? You're going. You feel like, oh my gosh, I don't have enough time. You feel like these 24 hours in the day are just not enough. Or even if they are enough, by the time that I get to a point where there is enough, I feel so fatigued and tired that I cannot do anymore. But yet you feel guilty about not doing more. Anybody? Right? You can feel overwhelmed. You can feel guilty. And the third thing that you might feel is conflicted. You might feel conflicted, right? And sometimes you feel conflicted because good stuff is happening, but you feel like you can't afford to stop, or you don't deserve rest, or you can't afford rest, right? Coach AD says, I'm praying for more energy. Right? You're like, you are in the midst of that space where it's busy. It's like, revenue, money's coming in. You got good stuff, but you also feel conflicted because you're like, oh my gosh, I need to rest a little bit, but I can't afford to stop. As a matter of fact, that I may not deserve the rest at this point. I've felt that way before. As a matter of fact, sometimes when I say before, people might say, okay, yep, you got rid of it. You're over it. Nope, I'm not over it. I go through cycles and seasons where I have to walk through those feelings again, right? There's so many different things that can happen. And the way that the world is set up can kind of make you feel like you got to keep up. You got to keep moving. You got to keep going. I remember some years ago when I found these pieces of software that would allow you to schedule social media posts, right? I don't know if you remember TweetDeck or Hootsuite or any of those. And there are a lot of software that allows you to schedule social media posts. And I would schedule social media posts because I wanted to stay visible. At least that was the story that I shared with myself. Even when I'm paused or when I'm stopped, I want to be visible. I want to be busy. I want to be seen so people don't think I'm disappearing. And I used to schedule all this stuff. But now I don't schedule social media posts when I'm on the road because I value the connection and the engagement and the response. I don't want to schedule something if I'm not there to engage and create relationship and be in the comments around it. right? But today's not about that. Today is about how do I still fuel creativity in those moments where there is a lot happening. So about 12 or 13 years ago, I got into this space where I made a post on Facebook, and that post went crazy. And out of that post, I started a process called 28 Days to a New Me. So I ended up writing a book out of that process. And this is the first edition. I'm actually working on the third edition right now. I wrote the second edition about 6 years back and sold that through some colleges, etc. Working on the third edition right now, but this is the first one. All right, you can grab these on Amazon, first and second edition. On shameless plug, yeah, right. So here's how I wrote that. I was at the space where I had 3 children. I still have 3 children. A couple of them, they're all pretty much adults right now. But I was in the space where I was doing a whole lot of stuff, and now I'm running this 28 days transformation group, and I was just super busy, taking kids to school, doing all the things, starting a business, running a bunch of stuff happening at the same time. But what I did was I would shoot videos every day. I shot videos for 28 days. And how I shot those videos was I would say, listen, I've got to wake up just a little bit earlier to get this video done, because the videos weren't long. They were about 2 minutes. And I wasn't overthinking the editing or anything like that. So I shot videos daily for 28 days. And then after the 28 days were done, I took another month to write out the chapters, right? To write out the chapters that were surrounding the video ideas. Now, the chapters were not long. As a matter of fact, this book is not a long read. Look at that. It's not a long. It's 6x9 trade size. Not a long read though, right? About 100 and something pages. But it was my first self-published book. And here's the point that I want to make. It happened in the in-betweens. I had to say, okay, this is the result that I want. This is the result that I'm after. And I'm going to invest 15 minutes per day of sleep time to do it. Here's why I'm sharing this. Sometimes we think that our creativity requires perfect conditions. We want to wait until the moment is right. We want to wait until we have enough time. We want to wait until things have calmed down. But here's the thing. Inspiration doesn't need perfect conditions. It needs consistent courage. And that's what it takes. It takes courage. It takes courage to say no to some things. It takes courage to say yes to you. It takes courage to say, I'm going to forsake 15 minutes of sleep. I'm going to wake up earlier. Creativity thrives in motion. It doesn't thrive in perfection. Right? And I've heard this. I've even shared that, yes, you need quiet, you need space, you need long blocks of time. And I'm a believer in personal retreats and time away. But when you are called to create, when you consistently think about a thing, how many of you are in your space? You're in work, you're at work, you're in business, you are in, you're just living life. And there's some stuff that you constantly are thinking about. You're like, I need to do this. I need to get that book done. I need to get this video done. I need to share this message. I need to speak. I need to, how many of you think constantly and consistently think about a thing? And yet maybe you haven't gotten it done. When you're called to create, you will consistently call up in your mind an idea. And if that idea is constantly and consistently in your mind, but you're looking at your life and you're looking at your space and you realize that you have not yet gotten it done or worked on it or gotten it to the space where it needs to be out in the world, then there's some stuff that you need to do. I was reading a devotional this morning and it talked about the richest place in the world is the cemetery. Inside that cemetery, underneath 6 feet of ground, or of earth, of soil, are so many buried dreams, are so many buried books, are so many buried songs, are so many buried art pieces, are so many buried inventions and ideas, because we were not courageous enough to create the time to get it done. And that's what it is. Courage. And here's why I'm saying you got to be courageous to create the time, because a lot of us are afraid to say no to other things. We're afraid to say no to family. We're afraid to say no to work. We're afraid to say no to the job that pays you. You're afraid to say no to a relationship. And when I say no, I'm not like boom, punch in the face, get it out of the way forever and ever. I mean saying no to the effect that you create a little bit of a boundary or a block, or you're like, listen, I need to figure out a way to get this thing done. I need to get up a little bit earlier. I need to stay up just a touch later. I need to create a boundary around this time, saying to my family, saying to my spouse, saying to my children, hey, listen, I need to create this time. I need 30 minutes away alone to do this. How many of you have seen Hamilton? So the author, the writer of Hamilton, Lin-Manuel Miranda, wrote the lyrics of Hamilton, the entire play. Man, that thing made so much money. He wrote the lyrics on his phone between Broadway performances. Yeah. I mean, he didn't have this big quiet writing retreat or a perfectly scheduled and secluded creative season. Hamilton, and some of you are going to laugh when I say it this way, Hamilton was born in the cracks. See, at the time, Lin-Manuel Miranda, he was performing nightly on Broadway. His schedule was jammed. It was jammed. And he had this thought in his brain. He had this idea in his mind about Hamilton. But his schedule, right? His schedule didn't say, hey, here's the time, dude. You can create. That's not what happened. His schedule just was not giving him a break, because, as an artist, sometimes you got to do what you got to do in order to pay I was trying to rhyme that, but you got to do what you got to do in order to pay the bills, right? And so he had to work. His schedule was jammed, but instead of waiting for a break, he used the breaks he had. He had to take the subway to his performances. He wrote lyrics while he was on the subway. He had to take taxis to get to his place, right? He scribbled notes while he was in taxis. He had to, in between some of the scenes, he has his iPhone. He's like, listen, let me record some melodies, right? I'm dropping stuff. He recorded some melodies while he was waiting between scenes, right? As a matter of fact, one of the most iconic songs, I'm not giving away my shot. Right, he's My Shot. That song took him a full year to finish. Took him a full year to finish, a few minutes at a time. He once said, you write whenever you can. The world doesn't give you time. You make it. And that's the heart of the message today. That's the heart of what I want to share with you. Inspiration doesn't wait for the perfect season. It grows in the cracks of the busy ones. So if you're waiting for a perfect moment, hey, Udine, so good to see you this morning. Kendra Dodd, so good to see you this morning. If you are waiting for a perfect moment, know this: it's not coming. Great ideas aren't born in free time, they're born in found time. Right? So we only have a little bit of time this morning left. So let me jump to our messages for the day. Right? Let me jump to our messages for the day. So here's the three things that I want you to work through. Number one, let me make sure I got this on the screen properly. Yeah. Number one, as you're thinking about the thing, as you're thinking about the idea that constantly just bothers you, that you know that you need to lean into, activity, action, transformation, action, number one, is to create micro moments. Create micro moments. Find 10 to 15 minute pockets in your day and dedicate them to creativity. Find 10 to 15 minute pockets in your day and dedicate them to creativity. What does that mean? Does that mean, okay, I've got to schedule a meeting? Yes, it might mean that. But you're going to get it when I talk about the second piece. Bottom line is, find 10 to 15 minute block. You might have an hour for lunch. Okay, I'm going to spend 45 eating and 15 in creative time. Now, here's the second item that I want you to embrace. Capture without critique. So inside of those 10 to 15 minute blocks that you're dedicating to creativity, I want you to grab your phone, your voice notes, or your Post-its and jot down some ideas as they come. Now, here's the important piece. Jot them down without judging them. Listen, one of the reasons I used to have such a hard time with journaling, one of the reasons I used to have such a hard time with free writing is because I would write and then I would correct the grammar. Right? I would correct the grammar, and so it would take me such a long time, and that was so hard for me. I would write down thoughts, and I would rethink them and judge them. And is that a good thing? No, spend the moments capturing without critique. Jot down your ideas as they come. Don't worry about whether it's capitalized or whether you have the right punctuation or whether or not it makes. Write down your ideas without judging them. Matter of fact, if you have 10 minutes, you might say, listen, I'm going to spend these 10 minutes and I'm going to write down at least 5 ideas. Just write 5 ideas. Or you might want to challenge yourself and say, yep, I'm going to write down 10 ideas in 10 minutes, an idea per minute. Doesn't even matter what they are. Doesn't matter if it's a business idea. Doesn't matter if it's a personal idea. Doesn't matter if it's a relationship idea. Doesn't matter what it is. Write down the idea, because what we're doing is practicing or exercising the creativity muscle. Don't worry about the focus. It's that'll come. That'll come. But the idea here is to, just like they do in improv, work without judgment. Work without your normal filters, right? And when you're writing down on the phone or whatever, nobody's grading you. Nobody's hearing you. This is your stuff. Capture it without critique. Third thing is, number 1, make the micro moments. Number 2, capture without critique. Number 3, create a mini reward system. Okay, if I'm going to do 10 minutes, 10 ideas in 10 minutes, then yeah, celebrate that. Okay, yep, I got 10 down. Yep, I can get myself a Snickers bar, one of those little Snickers bars. Actually, why am I saying Snickers bar? I'm a Reese's peanut butter cup dude. Right? So if I do 10 ideas in 10 minutes, I'm going to get 1 Reese's peanut butter cup. Yes. All right. If I finish a paragraph, if I finish an idea, if I finish a verse, that counts as progress. I'm going to give myself a reward for showing up and shining. Make micro moments, capture without critique, create a mini reward system for yourself, right? Create in the cracks. Don't wait for life to open up. Create in the cracks until it does, right? In the book, 28 Days to a New Me, I talk about, I quote a guy by the name of William Early who says, ambition is the path to success. Persistence is the vehicle that you arrive in. In order for you to be truly creative, you've got to be persistent. You're going to run into people who tell you that you should quit. You're going to run into people who tell you that what you're doing is a bad idea. You're going to come across people who tell you that you're playing out of position or punching above your level. All of these people are the resistance, according to Stephen Pressfield. And you need them. These people are the kindling that fuel your persistence, but you've got to view them that way. And instead of recoiling because they say so, push forward because they say no. The planet needs your creativity and your creation. Remember, you are either in creation or reaction. Same letters move the C. You're either in creation or reaction. The planet needs your creativity and your creation. Hey, y'all, listen, if you love the messages we share each week and want a reminder when we are live, text live to 240-557-8679. And don't forget, you can grab 28 Days to a New Me on Amazon. All right, 28 Days to a New Me, a journey of commitment. And then lastly, don't forget to join me right now in 2 minutes in the after show. Go to mindshiftmonday.com/Zoom. Let's chat about the topic. Let's connect a little bit deeper. All right. Hey, y'all, listen. Remember that what's inside of you determines what comes out of you. Keep creating even when it feels like chaos. Or, as I always say, change your thoughts, change your world, change your story. I'll see y'all on the Mindshift Monday. Come on, join me in the after show. Mindshiftmonday.com/Zoom. We're getting started in 60 seconds. I'll see you soon. Peace.